So we know that people whose jobs weren't affected by the lockdown seem to go along like la 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 la, like it's okay, just go and get your essential job, just do what I do. And people that they're not, it's like it hasn't affected their lives, and they don't know about the rest of the world, what the world is going through, right? It's the same thing with groupthink, right? You don't care about weaponized groupthink until you're not bothered by weaponized groupthink until you are face to face with your own, in your own solitude, with your own monsters. And then then you can eat your heart out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people who are temporarily mentally occupied well enough to get the sobriety that they need are tripping, because when that breaks down, then it's just them and their addiction, and they can eat their fucking hearts out right now. You know what I'm saying? Without the groupthink, you might be able to free yourself, but because you cannot identify groupthink. Really, groupthink, you can't identify groupthink. Groupthink. You know it when you see it, but you can't identify it. You can't point it out. You can't say that's groupthink and I shouldn't. That you have a reason why in your mind why you need groupthink. You're not able to point it out. You know what it is at the same time, but it's influenced your behavior. So you're not free. You're controlled. If you're controlled, then you're going to be, you're going to be an opioid person. You know what I mean? Or an alcohol person. Some people it's meth. Some people it's the hustle, right? And that's kind of like where it could be like almost me right now, The thing is, nobody can identify that you're not addicted to hustle. You know what I mean? Because then they would have to also be curious, like, shit, you actually have a hustle. Like, we're trying to ignore that I have a hustle because they don't want to be brought up on crypto. They don't want to know anything about crypto. Oh, I don't want to know anything. Ahmed's still poor. And I am still, I can't, I'm only poor because I'm lazy. I could have thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I want to be a group effort. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm screwed up in a way because I get all excited about teaching people because I feel like, oh, it's like now we're gonna start being rich. Like now, we're gonna start, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like now we're gonna start coming together and start figuring out how to acquire things that we need for upward mobility. We're gonna form the Power Ranger. Let's go. Like, what else could you possibly be interested in doing right now? But it's a bunch of hang-ups and shit. It's like and then so because people don't have time to form Voltron, then I gotta prove. It's like I gotta prove that I gotta make them think about that again. You know what I mean? What do you mean you don't have time? Are you sure you don't have time? And then so I gotta get them to reconsider that idea, that notion that they didn't have time. So when they look back, they said, shit, I would have, made time. I would have made time. Since I can't force people to hang out with me like Mike Tyson, you know, I can't force you to be my neighbor, my friend, or my neighbor if you're my neighbor, you know. It's just it was funny, right? It's this is the trade-off, right? You spend a lot of time alone, but you don't have the capability of lying while you're crying at the same time. Like, you know, women, nobody ever leaves them alone. You can't. It's hard to leave them alone. You know what I mean? Everything good, you know, smell, sound. They sound wonderful. They taste good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to smell like Moses stepping up out of the pad, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to feel like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be dipped in some. Never mind. Okay, so it fucking can't be left alone, right? So they fucking are capable of fucking crying and lying at the same time. Oh my God. I have had shit on my mind that people would pay to hear, that somebody needed to hear to save their life, or somebody would pay me to find out in the time to make it applicable. Then they would have been enriched by it. But there's no way for them to know that they should listen to me. There's no way for me to reach out. There's no way for, you know what I'm saying? There's no, like, I'll be sitting on messages that seem like it's for somebody else to save in their life, and I don't even need it that much. And it's like, shit, put your hand down. Stop. Don't answer questions. Let somebody else, you know, but it's just me, though. It's like, there's nobody really to raise their hand for anything. You know, if I try to reach out and touch them, if I try to reach out and speak to them, then you know, saying I get, oh, not your message is not delivered. An hour later, after you sat down and thought eloquently how to put all these things down in a way that could be relate to, that my people could relate to, right? It doesn't say your message not delivered right away, so I could sit down and fucking rewrite it, and the next time copy it and paste it. It waits an hour or two for life to go by to change the, you know, so that I can't even remember. And I don't have the energy. So, I mean, what is that? You never had nothing to say? I wouldn't be so sure about that. I just had to move on. I really just had to move on. And I have to be measured in my energy has to be measured and disciplined, so that I don't get exacerbated and anxiety, you know, and then you can be manipulated emotionally, and you could be, your actions and everything would be not even your own. You'll be controlled. You open up your mouth and somebody else's words will come out, and you'll be like, who the fuck is that? I swear to God, it happened before.